Spokesperson Vinit Goenka joins me on this broadcast. Former Chief Secretary of Delhi Omesh Saigal is with us. Political analyst Dr. Piyush Joshi and Professor D.K. Giri now with me on this broadcast. But I want to ask my first question to Omesh Saigal. Now, we've heard the kind of allegations politically, Mr. Saigal, as far as the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party are concerned. But let's get to the moot point about this policy. The policy that was rolled back, which now Arvind Kejriwal said that they were arm twisted. The officers were threatened by the central government, which is why they were forced to take it back. He also cites the example of the same policy in another state where the Aam Aadmi Party is in power and says, look at the amount of revenue gain we've made there. 48% is what he pegs it at. So why then did the Aam Aadmi Party not claim this arm twisting and this intimidation tactic back then when they rolled it back? Does it look like an allegation that is being made in hindsight now?
Well, I don't know if it is being made in hindsight, but it was not the officers who rolled back the policy, it was the cabinet which rolled back the policy. And if you see the late lines, you will see that today when the LG makes a complaint to the CBI and it comes out in the press, and in a couple of days the policy is withdrawn. The policy is put on hold. Then the LG allowed it to continue for another month, and then it was changed and it was reverted back to the government shops. So I don't think this policy makes any sense. This allegation makes any sense because the officers had no reason to be consulted. As Kejriwal rightly said, July it was to be extended, 31st July. It could have been extended. There was no one preventing the cabinet from not extending it. They themselves decided not to extend it. As far as the allegation that Delhi has lost money and Punjabi has gained money because of, according to him, pressure on the officers, it's irrelevant. Delhi and Punjab are not at par. Delhi has a master plan. Delhi has a conforming and non-conforming areas. Delhi has an international airport. Now you have made the international airport one zone which you have auctioned, and in that zone the airport authorities did not allow shops to be opened. And it was the tender policies clearly said that it's your responsibility to ensure that you will get the necessary permissions. Government is not going to help you. And you don't get the permissions, 148 crores are returned to them. That was totally against, this is one of the allegations. I won't say that this is proved, but this is one of the serious allegations. Right. It's not relevant to what Punjab is happening. Then the second thing was that in non-conforming areas, they also auctioned. Then everybody should know what is a non-conforming area. You don't need to go to the directory or to Google to find out. Non-conforming area means that it is not conforming to a commercial activity. It is not even conforming to a residential activity. Right. So obviously, if you are going to auction shops there, you must ensure that the permissions are in position already. You can't later tell or put it on the shopkeepers to clearly say that we will get the permissions. Now you say last minute LG did not allow us, they said you go to the MCD. Now here again, Delhi is not the same as Punjab. Punjab doesn't have a master plan. Punjab doesn't have non-conforming areas. When you auction it in a district, the excise rules, they went set up your shop anywhere in the district.
Right. Now, so it's like comparing apples and oranges when you make the Punjab and the Delhi comparison. That's really the essence of what you're saying, Omesh Saigal. And I want to get in Professor Giri on that. So this comparison that the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal also keep making about the Punjab model, like look how it works great in Punjab, look at the amount of revenue that we've gained there. We could have done the same with Delhi, but you stopped us from doing it, putting the blame squarely on the centre. One, of whether that actually stands good, like Mr. Saigal was pointing out, that you can't compare the two. Second, why not make these allegations when it was rolled back, when the cabinet rolled it back 2-3 months ago? Why is it now belatedly coming out?
You heard the difference in administrative dynamics by a senior bureaucrat. I do not have to comment on that. When Mr. Kejriwal is saying about both the states they are ruling and he was saying it is working, he was perhaps saying that it will work in Punjab. They have full control over the administration there. In Delhi, what the former chief secretary omitted to say is that Delhi, I kept saying it is a half state. There are two centers of authority and LG overriding the chief minister. So that is also a problem here. So, but this is a political exercise. The excise policy is being investigated by the relevant authorities. It may go to the court. Right. So, having a press conference talking about the excise policy does well for BJP as the elections, as you yourself said, elections are approaching, MCD election, etc. But it does not cut any ice really. This is a futile, meaningless exercise to run a media trial when the matters are being investigated. You see, so BJP had several press conferences. They are now banking on this Chandrasekhar fellow who is a confirmed con man. So I really pity the despair of BJP. They should do better than that. They're a mightier party.
Right. Now, the devil is in the details, and that's really what you are saying. But that's also what the allegation against Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party is, that you're not really going into the details of what this excise policy was, what really were the problems of why you had to roll it back. Until yesterday, there was absolutely no word of any arm twisting being done, of any officers not willing to extend it. It was just yesterday where Arvind Kejriwal came out and made that allegation, while yet again making the Punjab comparison. So what really went missing? That really is the most important bit, and someone needs to talk about that. Of course, it is a matter of investigation now, and eventually it will come out. But that detail is what the Aam Aadmi Party is perhaps not wanting to give out, or for some reason isn't. And that's the detail that the people of Delhi want to know, Vinit Goenka. That's the detail that everybody wants to know about.
One more sentence. How do you check the veracity of these statements? Kejriwal makes a statement, former secretary is making a statement. Now my friend Vinit Goenka
is the Chief Minister of the state, sir. How do you not take his word at face value?
Has to be examined by the court.
Are you saying we can't take a Chief Minister's word at face value?
Oh, you cannot. I say Chief Minister is elected 3 times. You cannot check it. You are telling him that he is not telling the truth. That is really an assault on democracy.
I'm not saying that at all.
As I said, don't take anybody. Let court examine the veracity of all.
Absolutely, which is what I said. It's in the realm of allegations now. I'm not casting aspersions on anyone. I'm just saying that people of Delhi want to know the details of why exactly was the policy rolled back. There were many panelists from the Aam Aadmi Party that on our show, on the channel, on multiple channels in public forum, have spoken of how there was some sort of lacunae which had to be worked on, which is why the policy was rolled back.
Journalists like you should take that to the people. It is your responsibility.
Absolutely. It's also the responsibility of the elected representative, like the Chief Minister, 3 times, as you say, for him to come out and give those details to the public, because Aam Aadmi Party came on the plank of transparency, of a clean governance. The onus lies on them to come out and be transparent about it, and which is why we're asking those questions. It's not that we're asking questions only of the Aam Aadmi Party. I'll ask questions of the BJP as well, because like you said, there are press conferences that are being made every single day pretty much, Mr. Goenka, that we see BJP spokesperson come out and make these allegations against the Aam Aadmi Party. Is there any credence to those allegations that you're making, or are you simply just keeping the pot boiling because it works politically for you?
Yep. Good question.
Poonamji, Ram to you and everybody on the show and everybody who is watching this particular show. There are 2 data points which I like to share with your audience, and then you can decide how do we go ahead. In the old policy, every day Delhi government, NGT government, is to collect 25.5 crore rupees as taxes. In the new policy, it reduced to 17.5 crore rupees. The effective loss per day was 8 crore rupees. Now, this policy was in effect for 7-8 months. My assumption is that it was more than 1800 crore rupees which the Delhi government lost. This is one data point which I wanted to share with you. I'll repeat it. Earlier, 25.5 crore rupees was the collection per day. The collection went down to 17.5 crore rupees. So the total loss per day, every day, was 8 crore rupees. Now you multiply with the number of days the new policy was there. My estimation is it is more than 1800 crore rupees. Number 2 data point which I want to put it in front of your august gathering, your learned audience who is there. A bottle of liquor of 750 ml is to cost 550 rupees. Out of this 550 rupees, what was the bifurcation? Delhi government is to get 330 plus rupees, 330 plus rupees per bottle, and the commission to the Thekedar was 8 rupees. Now, after this policy came in, Thekedar gets, how much? He gets 33 rupees. And where is the loss? The loss is to the government, and the government loss per bottle is 322 rupees. Now, why does the government want to have a loss of 322 rupees per bottle? Beyond this, the commission was increased from 2% to 12%, so that there can be a kickback of 6%. Now this has been investigated. Per box, the retailer was given a discount of 50 rupees. I've never heard this kind of leverages. The number of days the liquor can be sold in Delhi has increased because they have reduced dry days.
Right.
The number of hours liquor can be sold in Delhi has been increased tremendously because they can be sold post midnight. And EMD, earlier, the senior bureaucrat has already discussed that, earnest money deposit of 30 crore rupees was refunded, which was not in the law. It was not their personal money. As per the law, they should have been forfeited. 144 crore rupees waiver was given, which was not right. Now, where does this information come from and whether it is right or wrong? Before that, I'd like to put one point in front of all the Delhiites. Our Deputy Chief Minister, Manish Sisodia ji, while it was COVID, people were dying. He did a PowerPoint presentation called as equitable distribution of liquor. He never thought of doing a PowerPoint presentation on equitable distribution of COVID relief or
now, Mr. Goenka,
medicines
I'd like
or
to
water or
interrupt you
Yamuna water
there
or
just
pollution.
there because I'd like to reiterate my question. Is there a reason you're keeping this pot boiling? Because none of these allegations that you spoke of in the last 2 minutes are new. You've been saying this ever since the policy was rolled back.
Because ever since the policy came in, we knew that there is something foul. Now, who are these people? Who is this Vijay? Somebody has to answer this, and only Manish Sisodia can answer. An
investigation is on in that case.
Who is this Arjun Pandey?
So why hold press conferences every single day and ask those same questions? That's exactly what I'm trying to ask you.
I'll tell you what.
I'll reiterate my question, Mr. Goenka. That's exactly what I'm trying to ask you. Is there a reason you're keeping this pot boiling? Does it have to do with the MCD elections? Does it have to do with the other elections?
Delhi loses revenue to my people. Delhi loses revenue to my people have been made drunkard. They have been thrown out of the school under some garbs of some educational reform. 2, they have been forced to drink liquor just because they want to have revenues for themselves. And the revenue does not go to the exchequer. Understand this 8 crore rupees loss per day. And Delhi youngsters were pushed to drink so that Arvind Kejriwal and his gang can get this money. It's a shameless act by elected government, ma'am. I feel pity. And then this approver, Dinesh Arora, he is coming on record. What happened? How much money was paid? Did this amount something, 4 crore rupees, 1 crore rupees? What happened in that particular hotel? Now, these are all on public domain. Who is this, Radha Industries? We are asking
and the investigation is on. Several of those accused have been arrested. Based on their testimonies, more people have been, more connections have been unearthed. Those have been arrested as well, and that investigation is on. And Dr. Joshi, I'd like to get you in on that as far as the Delhiite and the voter is concerned.
Can you permit me 30 seconds?
Yes, sure. Go ahead.
Can you permit me 30 seconds?
Yes, Mr. Goenka, go ahead.
No elected government in the world would like to push their people to problems. Drinking creates not only health issues but domestic violence. My sisters would suffer. Children are pushed out of the school because their parents, they drink, their father drinks.
Sure.
We have seen road rages. We have seen accidents. The amount of money which has been spent on medicines in Delhi would increase. The life expectancy will come down. For God's sake, don't sell liquor. And don't push liquor just because you want to have a kickback. Forget politics, man. Would you and I like to have a friend or known person who is drunkard and creates problem to himself, to the society or the family? What a shameless act.
Sure. But we all know that the revenue that comes from liquor across the country for state governments is a huge amount of money, which then is used by these state governments for welfare schemes and such works, and which is also why we see the kind of taxes that are levied on alcohol across the country.
Roll back the new policy?
Yes, that is a question that we will ask the Aam Aadmi Party, and I want to get in Dr. Joshi as well, who has been patiently waiting and listening on while this debate goes. Mr. Goenka, I will come back to you. I gave you your time. I want to now get in Dr. Piyush Joshi, who has been patiently listening to all that's been transpiring on this debate. And Dr. Joshi, in the end, it is the voter, it is the people of Delhi that want to know, was there something amiss? Was there money that the government should have made which could have then be used for the welfare of the people? Or is this just a political narrative? Because it suits everybody's purpose. And what happens is the key issues that matter to the people of Delhi get lost.
It is a fair question. And how do we determine that whether there is something amiss, whether there was an act of corruption, or whether there was a quid pro quo? The courts are going to decide it. Okay, so that's there. And the matter is sub judice. We can discuss it from sunrise to sunset, and we will reach nowhere because the BJP has its own narrative to prove and the Aam Aadmi Party has its own explanations to give. Now, what are we going to do when we are faced with such dilemma? Let the courts decide. Let the audits happen. There is an audit process. All the accounts of any elected government are regularly audited by the government authorities. So let all these take place. Let all these happen. Now, apart from the technical aspects of the alleged liquor gate, I will still say it is an alleged liquor gate because it is the loss in the licensing fees that has led to the loss of revenue in the first quarter of the policy. But nevertheless, let us come to that poster part. If there is one single party in the whole country which gets involved in the negative campaigning, it is, as much it is getting on a fairly regular basis, it is the Bharatiya Janata Party. Whether it is the Gujarat election, whether it is someday they call Kejriwal an anarchist, another day they call them a Lutera, third day they will call them a Khalistani. So I don't know what. You have been in MCD for 15 odd years now. Now, project your own work, go to people, tell them that this is what we all did for you and vote us based on those facts. But no, because they haven't done anything worth mentioning.